Okay, everyone, one last quick little video all about solving for y. I'm worried about my phone tipping over. I'm bouncing out my Chromebook, but here we go. All right, first let's talk about this form here. This is the form that you want your equations into when you solve them for y. Okay, we want this to happen. We want y by itself. It should say y equals. The reason why we are doing this is so that we can then graph it, right? So when we are actually graphing it, you use your calculator and you type in your equation in the y equals screen, right? There's a whole button called y equals. So before you can even type it in, we need to make sure that the equation says y equals. Now, these other variables that you might not have seen before, but you should have, because, my class, but in case you weren't here for that, m is called your slope, right? That's your rate of change. That's how you move from one point to the next, right, by your slope. Why is m slope not called s? I will never know. I'm sure I can Google it, but I always forget to. All right, now we have our b. B is called your intercept. Or it's your starting point. It's also called a y-intercept, okay? This is not necessarily important just yet to know, but there might be some questions where it's like, create an equation with a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of 2. So you would make this y equals mx plus b. You would put 4 in for m, 2 in for b. And there's your equation, okay? Just in case one of those problems pop up. Let's get into the actual goal for this video. All right, solving it for y. So this is very similar to DCMAD, or Don't Call Me After Dark. If you did not watch that video, you might want to go back and watch that one. But here's how it's going to work. It's essentially the last two steps of DCMAD, the adding and subtracting step. So I made a note in there that we are trying to focus on the selected variable. What is my focus variable? Well, for problems like this, it is always y, right? I'm trying to get y by itself. So that's the variable I'm going to focus on. I want everything away from that y. So I'm going to add or subtract the number without the y, that being this 3x, subtracting 3x from both sides. So then these go away, leave me with negative 2y equals. Now here's something that is different from your DCMAD, right? I cannot actually combine these two things together, right? This negative 3 has an x, and that negative 16 does not. So instead of forcing them to combine, instead of trying to make them combine in some way, I can just rewrite exactly what I'm saying. Negative 16 minus 3x. And then our last step, just like always, your last step always is to divide. And you're going to divide everything by that negative 2, which gives me y equals 8 plus 3 over 2x. Bang, bang, boom. Okay? Let's take a look at another example of me doing this. Here we go. Add or subtract the number without the y first. So I'm going to subtract x on both sides. Bing, bing, boom, they're gone. Give me negative 3y equals 6 minus x. Again, don't force it. Just write down what it says. Then you divide everything by that negative 3. Most of the time, you guys will have a fraction in here, okay? There will most likely be a fraction somewhere when you solve this. So that's why I'm just showing you a lot of examples where there is a fraction being created, okay? Just prepare yourself for that. One last one, and we'll be done. Okay, so same idea. Subtract 11x from both sides. 11x is gone, giving me negative 4y equals 32 minus 11x. Say that, 32 minus 11x. And then you divide everything by this negative 4. So y equals 32 divided by negative 4 is negative 8. Yes, negative 8 plus 11 over 4x. Okay, there you go. They're solving it for y. Very important to know for your graphing. Make sure that you're watching these videos, go back through, double check making sure that you know how to solve for y. If you do not know how to graph, please go back and watch the graphing videos. And have a good rest of your day, everybody.